The weekend dads and duds and week 15 early bets edition of the Stephie Smalls Show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Pay just $5, get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with code SMALLS. Get access to all of our free picks and podcasts in one convenient place, the SGPN app. Download it for free in your app store. Just type in SGPN. Let's yap.
Stephie touch balls, betting it all on the power bottom false top drop the football. Like hopes they've been teasing, they're missing the fall season. ACL twisted, bank account freezing, but Smalls caught the shots like some more cool reason. Leaderboard rising while the slot machine's ringing. She's slinging players stats like Nostradamus. $100 bills raining down upon us.
Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome back to the Stephie Smalls Show. I am Stephie Smalls. We have Nate Collins from the Green Light Pod. Dr. Bax, friend of the show, former NFL player. We're going to talk weekend dads and duds, do week 15 early bets. Let's bring Nate in. Nate, how is it going?
What's good? How are you?
Should I open up the floor and allow you to do a Duval? You want to Duval now? Or you
Duval!
Yeah.
Oh man, what I was on here. What week had the season started?
Yeah, you were here before this. I think you came on probably maybe 6 weeks ago, I would say.
Yeah.
Things were looking like a little grim at one point.
They were looking a little grim for the Jags.
Yeah.
At one point for sure. And then we lost Travis Hunter for the year. And then we got Jakobi Meyers, and everything changed in that building. I think Trevor's confidence has gone up. I think he has a security blanket in Jakobi Meyers. I think Brian Thomas Jr. is playing better. We had Tim Patrick showing up with Parker Washington being injured this past game. So the Jags, me as being a Jags fan right now, it feels real good. It's devastating what happened to Daniel Jones, but just looking at the conference and what that means for the Jags, if we keep winning, it just kind of looks good. And it looks like Houston is now the team to worry about rather than the Colts.
I know. Yeah, and it's funny because speaking of dads and duds, you just dropped a few of them that I'll talk about. I'm going to go to duds first. And you being a former player, Daniel Jones, why was he playing on a fracture to begin with? Is that seems a little bit like the medical staff there. I have a little bit of a question for.
Yeah, and the real question that I have with that, to add with that, is honestly, to me, I think Riley Leonard played very, very good for the spot he was put in.
I agree with that.
And so that makes me feel like maybe they could have sat Daniel Jones for a game or two. Hindsight is always, is always crazy after the fact. But if you kind of knew or know, hey, we're going to lose these games, wouldn't you want Daniel Jones resting these past couple of games that you lost and getting the rookie some reps just in case you do need him in a tough spot later down the road if you guys even do make the playoffs? So that's, for me, that's always the question that I'm asking when you see that situation is, how good is the backup? They obviously don't think that they have a better chance with the backup if they're letting a guy kind of choose his own fate with playing on an injury.
And we've seen Daniel Jones do that. I know that very well. He's done that before where he ends up in games and then he gets hurt again, which is unfortunate too because the guy was having a good year. And someone replied to my tweet about this, what option did they have? I don't know. Play their fucking backup and not put themselves in a spot where now Daniel Jones is out for the season. So now, and then you just gave up 2 firsts for Sauce. You're in a weird spot now.
Just like good luck moves around in the NFL, bad luck moves around too. And I can definitely say the back half of the season for the Colts is not looking good in the luck factor, because it's crazy just to think that they have Anthony Richardson and he's on IR with an orbital fracture from the craziest type of injury you can ever think of. But it's something where that's like affecting his vision. Like he has to worry about like seeing the right way first, like let
Yeah.
alone playing football. And
Right.
just to think the position that this team, if you're a Colts fan, was in just merely 2 weeks ago,
Wow.
of just how well you were feeling about your team and the way everything was going. It's slowly like almost panic button time right now for them, and it's going to be interesting to see what they can do these final last weeks, if they're going to choose to let Riley Leonard, or if they have something else, if they're going to trade for someone. If we're going to hear Joe Flacco, it's going to pop up on the Colts or someone like that. It's going to be interesting to see.
It is good. And then they're in a weird spot for next year, because then an Achilles is a totally different situation. Like you're in I don't know. I feel for Colts fans, because riding that high that you had in the beginning of the year, this is just, it's a tough seed. What's your first dud? We'll be negative first.
Negative?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously I'm just going to say, even though I'm a Jags fan, like we're already talking about it, but this aspect, Daniel Jones and the potential contract or not contract that like he'll have to maybe wait for, or maybe the Colts pay him and let him rehab and just wait it out. But it's just thinking from an owner standpoint, like they might have just saved themselves, maybe upwards of $200 million just the way he was playing. So I feel like that's the biggest dud. Just as an ex-player, you never want to see that for a guy who just his circumstances and the way he was playing, and just like you said, putting yourself out there when you're already hurt, when like realistically you're on a contract year and maybe you could have dialed it back and just played it safe. You're trying to win for that franchise. And it's a situation where injuries always suck. And even though like obviously I'm a huge Jags homer, that to me was a big dud of the weekend.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I think the other one, obviously, we have to mention, not to pile on it, and I do think it's a little beautiful how everyone comes together when the Chiefs do poorly. Like, I think there is something kind of beautiful about it. But Mahomes, I mean, obviously, like this was one of the worst games that we've seen out of Mahomes in his entire career. Worst completion percentage of his career, 19.8 passer rating, 3 interceptions, 0 passes. I mean, like it wasn't a pretty sight last night by any means, especially. I think you have Andy Reid, like season on the line, you kind of hand the Texans 2 possessions inside. They're like, the whole thing was just not great.
Yeah. I just feel like, just seeing the Chiefs in this spot, I think everyone top down was panicking, is just because they've never been there. It's like, that saying, act like you've been there before. But like, if you've never been there before, you don't know how to act. And I just feel like this season was a microcosm of the Kansas City, just like not being the front runners. And when you're not the front runners, it's just, how do you respond? How do you respond when injuries happen at the worst opportune times? And they just had to deal with all that, and all those close games that they were winning last year, they've gotten a bad end of the stick this year when it comes to that. So maybe
not getting as many flags, and there's a few things going on. But on the other side of that, dad wise, like Houston's defense, come on. I mean, these boys are hooping. Like they are absolutely balling out for a team that started 0-3. They were getting their asses dragged at the beginning of the season. They won 5 in a row. They just put away the Chiefs. I mean, we're talking about like this edge duo and quarter duo are so they are absolutely suffocating teams. So, I mean, the offense is going to have to catch up to that, but I don't think we're talking enough even about like Danielle Hunter, the year that he's having at his age and what he's able, like what he's doing on the field is crazy.
I am man enough to say it that if I wasn't such a Jags homer, I would be glazing the Houston's defense as much as I can, because I always say it on the Green Light Show. If you've never watched football before and your first time watching football is watching Houston's defense, you will be like, holy shit. Like this is guys. The way they hit people, just even as an ex-player, I'm just like, like to sit a week before the game as an offensive player that's playing against Houston and just see them play after play after play, they run downhill.
Ragdolling. They are ragdolling.
They're ragdolling, and a lot, and it's just like, they sometimes they get penalties, but the majority of their hits are legal, and it's just like as a football like ex-player, like that's how you want guys to hit. You want guys to hit people hard enough that they can take the ball off you. And that's what they do at a constant like clip. And it's just something to see, like honestly. And just like you said, Hunter is having like an unbelievable season, and just that defense as a whole. Like, and like it is nice to see like CJ Stroud, he's been shaky, but the way that defense is playing, it's one of those things where as long as you could take care of the ball and not give the ball away, like you'll be in every game. You just got to take care of the ball and take care of possessions, because that defense, like no one wants to play that defense. No one. No one wants to play.
Like they are putting on just like an absolute clinic, and that is like it's football. It's awesome. It's actually awesome to see. Do you have a dad of the week? I only have one more. I took it a little light this week.
A dad of the week. I'm going to give it to Cam Ward. I think honestly, like I would like to give it to both Cam Ward and Shedeur. I think that matchup is something for us as football fans. We're going to grow to appreciate and realize it's probably a matchup we're going to see, barring any injuries for them. And hopefully it's a preview like of something that we might get, whether it's because they're friends and they train together and they're going to try to play as hard as they can just for bragging rights or whatever it is. I think that was a fun game. I was going to say my other dud was definitely seeing Shedeur kind of on the sideline for that 2-point conversion play.
What are we doing there? I forgot about that, honestly. What is going on? And it's just
like, I know what we're doing. Like we're tanking. We're strategically tanking. And I mean, that's the only logical, like that's the only logical thing. And I said it today on the show, and it's funny. Like it'll be a funny dynamic if like Stefanski's going home, just like looking in the mirror, punching the air, like everyone hates me because they think I hate this kid, but front office is making me do all this, and I have to do this to keep my job and keep my livelihood going. But whether it's that or not, it's just the Browns, just like just that organization. They never cease to amaze me. Obviously, they're lucky. The only bright spot they have is they're about to have a fucking all-time record in their franchise with the sack record and Myles Garrett. So they have that to hold their hat on. And two, like, I mean, whether they want to see Shedeur be good or not, or win games like for picks this year, it's something where I'm glad that they named him the starter, and hopefully we can get a couple more games like that. But I think Cam Ward, he played amazing, and he's playing with a supporting cast that honestly isn't that good.
We talked about this. That's why I had them preseason to have the worst record in the league, and everyone called me crazy. I'm like, guys, I mean, this depth chart is ass.
It's like not good.
It's not funny. Like it's like the O-line has massive holes. They're taking on guys, giving massive contracts to guys that like other teams didn't want on the O-line. And then you've got weapons where, like, again, like the standard per NFL fan can't name more than 3 of their weapons. And then the depth isn't there either. And then you're throwing this kid into it. It's not going to go well.
No, it's not. And it hasn't.
Well. No matter how good he is. But the JD5 effect happened. And then everyone thinks that any rookie can do that. And it's just not the case.
It's not the case. And one thing I am happy about the win for him is just confidence. Like both him and Shedeur, just young guys in the league. It's hard to be a quarterback in the NFL. It's hard as shit. Like it doesn't matter rookie or not rookie. It's hard to play well in the NFL. And it's easy. I feel like it would be easy for a quarterback when you're in a position like Cam Ward or Shedeur to lose confidence very, very quickly, and just like not knowing and being your first time in the NFL, like maybe Cam Ward doesn't realize, or maybe he does, but like there's way better talent than he's playing with, and he'll get lucky and they'll get guys in the building that will have like immaculate talent that won't be dropping footballs and that type of stuff, and that can actually protect him so he's not running around and trying to get the ball out as quickly as he's having to do this year. But it's going to be interesting to see, and I'm excited for the future for both those kids, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I give my last dad here, we just partnered up with Kalshi, a real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. In all 50 states, you can trade tons of markets in sports, including NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, and more. Plus, you can even trade props like first touchdowns. You can actually truly trade anything, politics, entertainment, even weather. New Kalshi customers get $20 when they use promo code SGPN. Underdog is your home for pick'em entries where you can win up to 5,000x. Here's a pick'em entry I like for tonight. Hampton higher 10.5 rush attempts. Gadsden higher 6.95 fantasy points, and Barkley lower 89.5 rush yards. Gets you 4.01x your money's. Underdog has a brand new offer for new customers. Pay just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with code SMALLS. This last one here, I just want to shout out Blake Corum and the Rams. 12 attempts, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. What I love about the Rams is just their ability to get the most out of every player. Like there is something that the Rams do that the rest of the league doesn't do, and they get literally the most out of all of their players. They've got Emmanuel Forbes balling out, who was left for dead when the Commanders were done with him. So I just want to shout them out a little bit because I love what the Rams are doing, and they're going to be a tough team to beat the rest of the season.
They really are. They really are. Rams are good.
Yeah, they're good. While I talk anything you're looking at for week 15?
Week 15.
We can start with the Rams. Lions at Rams.
Oh yeah, that's
Rams 5.5. We're seeing the Rams. They got back to where they were. Detroit's really good at running the ball. They haven't yet played a defense that can stop the run the way that the Rams have been able to. Stafford is probably going to carve up that secondary that's going to be missing. Branch, Arnold, and
I just feel like no one can do anything with Puka. Puka, bro, just watching Puka, the way he plays, I just feel like he just has his way with anyone. The way he high points the ball, and then on top of just how good Stafford is playing, I feel like him and Adams in the red zone is at this point a cheat code. It's like an absolute cheat code. And just like you said, they're going to be. I would not want to play them in the playoffs. No. That's not a team I want to play in the playoffs. And
they have experience.
Yeah.
You don't want to play the team with experience at all, ever. Not with those weapons. Hell no.
You don't. Absolutely you don't. Not. And I don't know why, just storybook wise, just because I see him on social media, still working out and being in shape. I don't know why I want to wake up and at the end of the season they're like Aaron Donald's coming back for the run, just for the playoff run. Imagine the fear just on the rest of the league.
That's terrifying.
If that actually happened, or if he wanted to even do it just for a few games, because it's just the Rams are definitely an exciting team to watch, and Stafford's playing out of his freaking mind right now. So it's gonna be interesting to see. And the same time, the Lions, they need to bounce back. I'm not sure if I'm particularly a fan of Dan Campbell with the glasses and calling plays. I don't think
I am.
Yeah.
I don't think I like it.
I don't like it. I think bro, the fourth down debacle two games ago, I think that totally pushed me off of it. It's just I'm at the point now. I at one point I thought it was yeah, fuck it, go for it. You trust your defense, go for it.
When you're playing better, it's cute.
But now it's like I'm sitting in a room and I'm watching my buddies play Madden, and they're just being stubborn about kicking the ball, and you don't want to kick the ball, and it's just why? Get points, and or have some sort of system. If you miss the first 2 fourth downs and you're in kicking range for the next one, you have to kick it, bro. Yeah. And then start over. Miss 2 more and then have something, but you can't miss a bunch in a row and just be fuck it. We're still gonna go for it. Yeah. Because it's obviously you don't got the right plays or whatever it is, but I don't know if I'm particularly a fan of it.
Yeah. I think the other interesting game on the board is the Packers at Broncos. Broncos are 2.5-point underdogs at home. I just can't. I know I should. I don't know why I still can't get behind the Broncos. I'm struggling still with that. I think it's too, like, they've only played 2 games against teams 6 or better in DVOA. Like, there is a reason why they're winning a lot in the fourth quarter. I think it's also, I watched my Giants play them very tough. They haven't lost a game since September. I kind of like Packers just outright. I could see the Packers not covering, but I think the Packers can win this game. The problem is Green Bay's offense is very, very, very dependent on big plays. And I think the Broncos defense can also handle that. But can Bo handle the pass rush?
And that's where I think that the Packers, they've been doing good. I think the way they've been moving Micah around, just not being predictable, like where he's going to rush, and him being able to rush like any gap over any person up front. I think that is going to be the X factor, just like you said, getting Bo Nix off the spot, not having him comfortable to make passes. Because just like you said, I can see this game going either way. Like it can either, I can see this game just being like a bomb fest.
Yeah.
like honestly, yeah, you got Patrick Surtain, but it's just like Green Bay, realistically, if all their wide receivers like come to play, we just seen them throw a bomb to Bo Melton. Bo Melton hasn't scored a touchdown in 2 years.
They're like, they've got all these random ass wide receivers that probably would. They've got a lot of strong wide receiver 2s on any other team. Like
Wicks, and they're holding Wicks is from Virginia.
Yo, they gotta share some of them,
bro. Like, Wicks is from Virginia, from UVA, and
that's my guy.
We know Wicks, how good he is, and like realistically, like how good he can be. And he's had drops, and he's had plays, he's had games where he's like really come up big there. And I just, like you said, like I just feel like they have a lot of wide receivers just like that realistically they all can make big plays. But you have to know you have a quarterback in Jordan Love where as long as you get open, you're going to have your shot and your chances to make plays. And I just feel like they're really in sync with that right now. So I as much as I think that Patrick Surtain, he can really lock down the side of a field, I feel like they're going to game plan to still get their guys open, and Jordan Love will still going to be taking some shots this game.
Yeah. I very rarely talk about taking my New York Football Giants, but I like the -1.5 against the Commanders this week. They've played the hardest schedule up until now. Listen, again, I've been tweeting around nonstop. I know how this goes. They're going to win at least 2 of their last 4 games. They're the second easiest remaining schedule in the NFL. I know how this goes. JD5 is hurt. Giants off a bye. This is the game where they end up. I know they win this game. I feel pretty confident in that.
Mariota versus Dart.
Yeah. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I like Mariota, but
my God!
Yeah, I just feel like I like it's crazy, but I do like the way Mariota does come in and play.
I almost would rather see JD5 though.
No, yeah, I'm sure, because I mean, right now JD5, and it's funny you say that because JD5 is hurt, and the way like that offense stays the same with Mariota. The past couple of games when Mariota's in, he's more of a threat in the run game. It's just one of those things where right now, Jaden Daniels, like, you kind of have to have the kid gloves on, like, with him, just because if that's going to be your franchise quarterback, he's already had a couple of major scares or whatever it may be this past year where you have to think about the future with him. You have to really think about the future and what your plan is. So I like how that offense runs with Mariota, not really having to worry about that. But I do hear what you're saying. I feel like the Giants, they're probably due for a game. And this is a crazy line, but like the Giants are the Giants, though.
That's true. I know. Look at me. Looking at me all confident. You're right. If it's not this game, I'm just telling you, you guys pick the 2 games out of the last 4. It could be the Raiders. It could be the week 18 against the Cowboys. It could be the Vikings. I don't care who you pick. I promise you they're winning 2 games. This is how they do it. They have the number 1 overall pick right now. They will not pick number 1.
They won't pick them. Yeah, they're gonna find a way to win.
No shot in fucking hell. I know this team. I've watched this story so many times. So maybe it's not the Commanders.
Bro, the art of tanking is such a beautiful thing. It's like it's such a beautiful thing because as easy as it may seem, it's just like it's not. It's not easy to tank, or you might tank. And it's just funny to think like how many teams in the past, like they try tanking or your front office is doing everything to tank and you think it's going well. And just like you're saying, they end up winning a game at the end of the year and it goes from your chances to pick first to 4th or 5th. It is just like, it's just funny.
I actually wonder what the New York Giants, someone find me the New York Giants record the last 4 weeks of the season, the last 5 years. I want to know their record. I guarantee most of their wins have come from that. I can guarantee you that because I've seen it. And the thing is, this year too, they can totally mask it with like, it's good for the young guys. Like Dart gets some wins. We roll into next season. We have a high pick. Like, listen, I know how this goes.
That's so great.
All right, before we wrap up here, let me finish these last couple ad reads. We're brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Novig, you're getting the best prices. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. Rhythm has crushed NFL this season, especially on the props. They've been really good at identifying when to fade players and take those unders. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. Any other games you're looking at before I let you get out of here? Jags favored by 11.5, 4-game win streak. Do the Jets even have a quarterback left? What's going on? This game shouldn't be close.
It shouldn't be, but I don't like big spreads with the Jags, and
I know it's hard.
This will be a big money line game for me. I definitely think the Jags win this game, and do I think they can cover the 11 or 12 points? Absolutely, I think they can. But
will they? That's the will they.
It determines on how Trevor wakes up that morning. Like, however Trevor wakes up that morning, and or if our defense decides to score, which they try to, like, all the time. And I love Devin Lloyd. He's the best. And one thing I want to point out, Devin Lloyd, he's like one of the only guys that I see for linebackers. When he gets an interception, he's not going down right away. He's trying to score. And that is what you're supposed to do on defense. By any means necessary, you are trying to get as close as you can to that opposite goal line, no matter what it takes. No matter what it takes, it's a free possession for you as the defense. And I think he does that well. And the Jags, hopefully, we could keep it rolling and we'll beat the Jets. One more before we go. Interested I am in is the Thurs. The Panthers are tied for first with the Bucks right now, currently, after the Bucks lost. Yeah. So Tyler Shucks can play. He can go on a run and get 2 games in a row, knocking off the top teams of that division, or the Panthers can maybe sneak ahead. I mean, the Bucks have I feel like a harder game with Atlanta. You never know what type of team you're going to get with them. And dealing with Bijan can always be hit or miss. He could decide to have a game and take over a game by himself. So the Panthers, I just think it's interesting seeing their name in the playoff hunt and in first place, and it'll be interesting to see how they do here at the end of the season.
I don't know. I like what the Panthers are doing, and I think they have a lot of like my favorite pieces too. Like I don't know. And this Shuck thing, it kind of feels like he's going to do just enough for them to not consider a quarterback next year, and then it's going to be like week 4, and they're going to realize that was a really big mistake. Like, that's how I see this going. Like, I see him having, like, success. And, I mean, he played, I will give him his flowers. He had a great game. Listen, I had started in fantasy. I did not complain. There was no complaints by me. But I can see this ending in, like, by week 6 next year, they're like, oh, maybe we should have thought about, like, what our backup plan was.
Yeah. And that's one of those things too. It's another situation where who knows if they're trying to tank or not. And Chuck's winning right now is just like, oh shucks. Like what are we supposed to do?
The Saints don't understand the assignment. The Saints they're not proactive thinkers. It's just like try to win, keep winning. But like your team needs help.
Big help.
Yeah, big help.
Big help.
How do you feel about the vibes bunny in the Eagles locker room before I let you get out of here? What the fuck is that?
I feel like the Eagles is the most.
What the fuck is that?
Bro, the most toxic team in the NFL, the most toxic locker room by far. And it starts with, I'm sorry to say, it starts with AJ Brown. It starts with AJ Brown and his whole debacle and having to have good stats like during wins for him to be happy, and him kind of like putting that narrative like out there that's like it's kind of like what he cares about. Is I just feel like it's locker room cancer. And it's just like, bro, like you're like one of the best wide receivers in the league. Like you don't have to do that. Like you don't have to act like that. Like you don't have to do the extra stuff on Twitch. He needs
to drink that Justin Jefferson juice. That JJ's
exactly.
JJ said, I'd rather not get the ball and win than not get the ball and lose. And he can learn a damn thing or two.
And that's all you had to say. And that's all you had to say is something like that. But he's a guy, obviously, if you don't feel that way, some guys won't say the right thing in the media if that's not how they feel. Yeah. So it's just funny. The vibes bunny thing, I think that just like.
It's just weird also.
No, it puts the cherry on top that like if you think there's shit going wrong in that locker room, there definitely is.
In April. What are
Bro, it's so stupid. It's so stupid.
It's so fucking dumb.
But at the same time, I feel like AJ Brown, like they like it's like this is like their kink. Like everyone talking about them and whether assuming if something's going wrong or if there is stuff going wrong and different players are putting off signals so people dig more. I feel like this is their kink in that locker room, from the coach to AJ to Jalen Hurts to everyone being vague and the quotes and the positive bunny, like all of this stuff. I feel like just the Eagles as a whole, like this is kind of like their way of staying relevant or in the media, and whether it's going to help them win games or not, we'll see tonight.
And Easter Bunny is not helping them win shit. Let people know where they can find you, and I'll let you get out of here. Thanks for jumping on.
Check me out at Big N98 on X and Bigger N98 on IG. Shout me out. You can check me out on Greenlight Podcast with Chris Long. And on that, we're on all platforms you get your podcasts. And thank you, Stephanie, for always having me on.
Great review, dude. All the things.
Hopefully.
I'll be back on tomorrow with my friend Dave Kluge, and we'll catch you guys later.
Stephie Smalls Show, sports gambling, play some bets on winners and catastrophe. If you want to know where to put the money, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday is the place to be.